would like to start off by thanking you guys for coming today to celebrate the life of a special man. To me, he was my pa. To so many others, besides his 13 grandchildren. He did his best to hold his title, and let me tell you, he was one of a kind. No other man could fill his shoes. I love you this much is what he would say as each of us left his house. Some of you are looking at me in question, thinking to yourself, that doesn't look like much. That is exactly what I thought too as a young girl. I didn't understand why he would say such a thing and then hug me as he smiled. It took me a little while to understand his humor. Along the way of learning, he just liked to tease. I learned there was no other man with a bigger heart. He would drop everything he could to help anyone he could. If you ever needed him, he would be there. Although he touched the lives of many, there was nothing more important to him than his family. He believed in getting his family together every chance he could. Family holidays, summer vacations, and Sunday dinners just because. It was all because of this man. He was truly the glue to our family. After he was diagnosed with lung cancer and his COPD was worsening, he decided we were all going on a family vacation. So 25 of us and Pa and Grandma loaded up the cars and we headed to South Dakota. Some days were a struggle, causing Pa difficulties to even catch his breath. But he stayed strong, and instead of complaining, he fought through and did all he could with his family. He was selfless. Instead of worrying about his pain and discomfort, he wanted to enjoy his family and spend every moment possible laughing and making memories. In March, Pa was admitted into the hospital and was left with no other choice but a respirator. For a few weeks, we had no response. Eventually, he was strong enough to respond by squeezing my hand. Finally, he built up enough strength to get off the respirator. However, he was still too short of breath, which made it almost impossible for him to talk. The day before he passed away, I was visiting him, and as I left, I looked at him and I said, "Pa, I love you this much." Tears filled his eyes as he smiled, with his finger and his thumb pinched together. I had never been so glad to see that sign. For most, it's just a silly little sign, but those words in that sign will forever mean more to me than anyone will ever understand.
Thank you. That was good.